All right, friends, gather round the kitchen counter for a second. You know that awful feeling when a cold or the flu starts creeping up on you? That scratchy throat, the sniffles, that general sense of, uh-oh, here we go? We've all been there. And while there's no magic bullet to instantly zap a virus, what if I told you there's a powerful little ally probably already sitting in your pantry or veggie drawer? I'm talking about the humble shallot. Yeah, that tear-jerking cousin of the onion that adds such amazing flavor to your sauces and stir-fries. Turns out, it packs a serious punch when it comes to helping your body fight off those nasty cold and flu bugs. Let's break down exactly how these unassuming little bulbs become your immune system's secret weapon, using words we can all understand. First things first, let's get to know our fighter. Shallots look like small, elongated onions with coppery brown skin and often have multiple cloves inside, kind of like garlic. They're milder and sweeter than a regular brown onion, but don't let that gentler flavor fool you. Inside that delicate flesh lies a powerhouse of natural compounds ready to rumble when invaders show up. The key players here are things with fancy names like allicin, quercetin, organosulfur compounds, and a bunch of antioxidants and vitamins. Stick with me, I promise to explain what these actually do inside your body without needing a science degree. So, how do colds and flu actually make us sick? It's all about tiny invaders, viruses, getting into our system, usually through our nose, mouth, or eyes. Once they're in, they start hijacking our own cells, turning them into virus-making factories. Our body's amazing defense force, the immune system, kicks into gear to stop this takeover. It sends out different types of soldier cells to find the invaders, destroy the infected cells, and clean up the mess. This battle is what causes all those miserable symptoms: inflammation, swelling and redness, makes your throat sore and nose stuffy, your body cranks up the heat, fever, to make it harder for the virus to survive, and you produce loads of mucus to try and flush the invaders out. It's messy, but it's your body fighting hard. This is where the shallot steps onto the battlefield. Think of it as delivering crucial supplies and reinforcements to your immune system troops. One of its superstar components is allicin. This is the compound that's released when you chop, crush, or chew a shallot, or garlic. It's what makes your eyes water. But that sting is a sign of power. Allicin is a potent antimicrobial and antiviral agent. Imagine it like a little security guard that can directly confront some viruses and bacteria, making it harder for them to latch onto your cells and start their hijacking process. It doesn't necessarily kill every single virus instantly, but it disrupts their plans and weakens their attack, giving your immune cells a crucial advantage. It's like putting grease on the ladder the invaders are trying to climb. They just can't get a good grip. Then there's quercetin. This is a real heavyweight champion found in many fruits and veggies, but shallots are a particularly good source. Quercetin is a powerful antioxidant and anti-inflammatory compound. Let's unpack that. Antioxidant means it fights against nasty little troublemakers called free radicals. Free radicals are produced naturally in your body, especially when you're stressed or sick. They're like tiny sparks that can cause damage to your cells if there are too many of them running wild. This damage, called oxidative stress, can actually make inflammation worse and weaken your immune response. Quercetin swoops in like a firefighter, neutralizing those sparks, protecting your cells from extra damage, and helping your immune system function at its best. Its anti-inflammatory power is equally crucial. Remember how inflammation causes so many cold and flu symptoms? Quercetin helps calm down that overzealous inflammatory response. It's like telling your body's security forces, okay, we see the threat, but dial back the alarms a bit so we don't accidentally cause too much collateral damage, like extreme swelling and pain. This helps reduce the severity of your sore throat, sinus pressure, and overall misery. We can't forget the organosulfur compounds. Those are the sulfur-containing molecules that give shallots, and onions, garlic, their distinctive smell and taste. Beyond flavor, these compounds are serious immune boosters. They seem to help stimulate the activity of your white blood cells, particularly types like macrophages and lymphocytes. Think of macrophages as the big garbage trucks that gobble up viruses and infected cells. Lymphocytes are like the intelligence officers and special forces. They recognize specific invaders, produce targeted weapons, antibodies, and coordinate the attack. The sulfur compounds in shallots essentially help activate these cells, making them more alert, more efficient at finding the enemy, and more powerful in destroying it. It's like giving your immune troops a potent energy drink and a sharper radar system. Shallots also bring essential vitamins and minerals to the fight. They're a good source of vitamin C, although maybe not as much as an orange. Vitamin C is another famous immune supporter. It helps stimulate the production and function of white blood cells and acts as another important antioxidant, protecting immune cells themselves from damage during the battle. They also contain decent amounts of vitamin B6, pyridoxine, which is vital for biochemical reactions involved in immune cell communication and proliferation. Think of vitamin B6 as the communication officer ensuring messages get passed quickly between different units of your immune army. Minerals like manganese and potassium found in shallots play supporting roles too, involved in enzyme functions that keep the whole immune response running smoothly. It's the nutritional equivalent of making sure your troops have reliable radios, proper boots, and steady supplies. Now, here's something really fascinating about shallots and their relatives. They might help thin mucus. That thick, sticky gunk clogging your nose and chest when you have a cold or flu isn't just annoying. It's a breeding ground for bacteria and makes it harder to cough things out. Some of the compounds in shallots, especially when consumed warm, like in a broth, seem to have mild expectorant properties. This means they might help loosen up that thick mucus, making it easier for your body to expel it through coughing or blowing your nose. Getting rid of that mucus helps clear the infection faster and makes breathing less of a chore. It's like breaking up a traffic jam in your airways. How does all this lab science translate to your actual kitchen and your sniffly nose? Well, cultures around the world have used onions, garlic, and shallots in traditional remedies for respiratory illnesses for centuries, long before modern science explained why they worked. Grandmothers everywhere swore by onion syrups or garlic soups for a reason. To harness the immune-boosting power of shallots when you feel a bug coming on, you ideally want to consume them raw or very lightly cooked. Why? Because heat can destroy some of those delicate, powerful compounds like allicin. Chopping or crushing them and letting them sit for about 10 minutes before eating or adding to food helps maximize allicin formation. So, what can you actually do? Get creative. Finely chop raw shallots and stir them into plain yogurt with a pinch of salt for a quick, immune-boosting dip or side. Add a generous amount of minced raw shallot to your salads. Their sweetness balances well with vinaigrettes. Stir finely chopped shallots into cottage cheese or hummus. If the raw bite is too strong for you, try quick pickling thin slices in a little vinegar and honey. This softens the sharpness while preserving many benefits. Lightly sautéing them in a tiny bit of broth or oil for just a minute or two at the start of making a soup is way better than boiling them for ages. You preserve more goodness. Speaking of soup, homemade chicken soup loaded with shallots and garlic, ginger, veggies is practically legendary for colds. It combines hydration, easily digestible nutrients, steam to loosen congestion, and the bioactive compounds from the aromatics. The warmth is soothing, and the shallots contribute their immune magic. Even just inhaling the steam rising from a pot of sautéing shallots can offer some benefits, as those volatile compounds enter your respiratory system directly. It's super important to be realistic though. Shallots are powerful allies, not a cure. They won't instantly vaporize a virus already deep in your system. Think of them as strengthening your body's own defenses and making the environment less hospitable for the invaders. They work best as part of an overall get-well strategy, getting plenty of rest to let your immune system do its job, staying hydrated, water, herbal teas, broths, to thin mucus and flush toxins, eating nourishing foods, fruits, veggies, lean proteins, and managing stress, which can seriously dampen immunity. If your symptoms are severe, last longer than usual, or you have a high fever or trouble breathing, absolutely seek proper medical attention. Shallots are fantastic support, but they don't replace a doctor's advice or necessary medications. Are there any downsides? For most people, eating culinary amounts of shallots is perfectly safe and beneficial. However, that potent taste and the compounds that cause tearing can sometimes irritate sensitive stomachs, especially if eaten raw in large quantities on an empty stomach. If you have a sensitive gut, start with smaller amounts or opt for lightly cooked shallots. Some people might experience heartburn. As with any food, listen to your body. If you're on blood-thinning medications, it's always wise to chat with your doctor before making huge increases in your intake of onion/garlic/shallot family members, as very large amounts might potentially have mild blood-thinning effects themselves due to compounds like allicin. But again, normal cooking amounts are generally fine. So, the next time you feel that first tickle in your throat or the sniffles start, don't just reach for the medicine cabinet, head to the kitchen. Grab those shallots. Chop them up raw for your salad, stir them quickly into your soup base, or even try a spoonful of finely minced shallot and honey, an old folk remedy. You're not just adding flavor, you're deploying a battalion of natural compounds ready to support your white blood cells, calm inflammation, fight oxidative stress, and potentially even help clear out mucus. It's about giving your body's incredible, built-in defense system the best possible tools and reinforcements to win the battle against the cold or flu virus faster and with less suffering. Those little brown bulbs are proof that powerful medicine can sometimes come in the most ordinary, delicious packages, sitting right there in your veggie basket. Arm your immune system, add some shallots.